The yeas are 111, the nays 92, the majority required by the Constitution having voted in the affirmative.
For the third straight year under a Republican-controlled legislature, a budget was passed on time and with no tax increases. House Bill 1437 is a $28.4 billion spending plan that gives more money to education and human services, yet keeps its increase over last year below the level of inflation. After the final vote, House Republicans felt this was a plan that meets taxpayers' expectations of state government.
What it is it's a fiscally responsible budget. It's balanced, passed on time with no new tax increases, and it really funds our core responsibilities in government.
It takes into account taxpayers. We have no tax increase in this budget, and then we also take into account the people who have needs throughout Pennsylvania to keep Pennsylvania strong.
Education is a big winner in this year's plan. A record high of $10 billion in state dollars is invested in K-12 education. $22.5 million was also allocated for distressed school districts. Never before has there been this much money spent on education in the Commonwealth.
For me, education is a must, that we need to continue to fund education properly. In this budget, I think we've done a pretty good job. We increased the governor's proposal another $10 million, so there's going to be $100 million in basic education, and plus a variety of other different line items to help education along, which I think is very important. Best investment that we can make is in our young students here in Pennsylvania, and because they're the future leaders.
Health and Human Services also receive an increase that restores funding to various programs such as anemia research, lupus, and diabetes programs. There is additional money for hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, ALS support services, and more. And nearly $50 million additional dollars will go towards further reducing the waiting lists for those with both physical and intellectual disabilities.
I was happy to see that there was an additional $26 million put into the waiting list program for those folks with disabilities, the people that really need those services.
House Republicans also reinforced public safety as a top budget priority, funding an additional 290 state troopers. This increase is particularly important for those rural areas where state police provide the only law enforcement service.
We've been doing so much to fight crime in the Hazleton area, and we were lucky that the Attorney General chose us for Hazleton to have a mobile street crime unit, and this is a roving patrol, but it's going to pilot in the Hazleton area, and we're looking forward to that getting started.
Finally, House budget deliberations included a last-minute effort to force a premature expansion of federal Medicaid as required by Obamacare. House Republicans successfully fought back, allowing the administration to continue its negotiations with Washington, D.C. before committing Pennsylvania taxpayers to unknown millions in new spending.